Hey cosplayers, welcome to tonight's live stream. Wow, we've already got 3DD on here. Welcome. How's it going? Cool. So yeah, pretty excited about tonight. We'll be doing Nightwing's Escrima sticks. So we'll be working on it. CC Wiz, what's up? Yeah, so I've got a kind of a fun design I've done for those. Wait for a couple more people to jump on here, and then I'll jump into kind of going through explaining what I've done for that. Um, yeah, so let's see. Maria Prince, hello. Musically Apprentice, hey, how's it going? Wow, CC Wiz, you just got a 3D printer? That's sweet. Congratulations, that's exciting stuff. Jose, thank you so much. Welcome. Thanks for joining in. All right. Cool. So, let's start with showing you what I have drawn.
Hi, everyone. Sorry, I realized
Olivia's
I should have
here.
said hi.
Let's see. Here we go. Vikings cosplay. Hola. Musically Apprentice got an Xbox for their birthday. That's exciting.
Happy birthday.
Yeah, happy birthday, and that's pretty awesome. Okay, cool. So let's jump in to what I've drawn up here. Let's flip on the light. Too bright. Hold on. There we go. Bouncing it off the table. There we go. Okay. So, I don't know if you guys can kind of tell what's going on here on this, but actually, probably be better quality if I flip the camera around. Cool. Viking cosplay is from Brazil. Welcome. Okay, cool. So this is kind of what I drew up. So the Young Justice Nightwing, he has his Escrima sticks like on a drop-down holster, basically a drop-down leg holster, to where, and they're right next to each other, just on one leg. So I thought it'd be cool for mine to, I'm adding some stuff in, and I also wanted to make it have his symbol on it. So here's my thought pattern on this. The a normal Escrima stick is about 24 to anywhere from 24 to 30 inches, 30 or 30, yeah, 24 to 30 inches. And for these to actually fit on my leg, just my upper leg, where Nightwing has them, they would only be about 14 inches. And so I was like, all right, well, I need some more length on this. So we're making it so that it's actually has this telescoping section that pops out. And this actually becomes a lever to release that telescoping effect there. So you pull it off, you pull the lever, throw it out, and then it you have your like added 10 inches onto the length of your Escrima stick. So I thought that would be kind of a cool effect. I'm also planning on doing something here on the back end to where another piece can slide out and they just pop and click together, and it can turn into a bow staff kind of thing. So just to add to his ability to be able to fight in different ways and different techniques and that kind of thing. So that's kind of what I drew here. Drew up as far as the idea. Then you can see I kind of tried to do a little bit closer up. Here you can see I've got this comes up, and there's a spring that I'm having wrap around. Coils around like this, and then comes out. This is kind of a pivot point. for this piece. So this is looking at it sideways. Like if we were to take this, turn it on its end, you can see, we see this. So,
Welcome, Nani Morgan and Joshua Campbell.
so what I ended up doing is I changed this up a little bit because I realized that positioning of where I needed to have this lever and different things, and to be able to get the maximum extension from the telescoping interior piece, I had to actually run something along the front of this to where the pin actually comes in at towards the end of the pole, towards the end of the stick. So I'll show you guys what I've done so far. I started working on the first one, and I've gotten to the point where I'm trying to add in the back piece here to be able to pop out and connect to the other one. So I haven't made the other one yet, so we'll see if maybe we start on that or if we just get to figuring out this piece. But I'll show you guys what I have on that so far. Let's take a look.
That's sweet, Jerome. He's making an Aladdin cosplay for Halloween, and he's playing him in school.
Oh, nice.
Sounds fun.
Sure. Okay, cool. So here's it in real life. So I used a dowel for this, just like a wooden dowel, as you can see back here. I went with 5/16 inch wooden dowel. Solid oak, it was like a difference of 30 cents more to get the oak rather than the balsa wood kind of thing. I wanted it to be a little bit stronger, so went with that. So you can see that's kind of the hinge there. I don't know if you can see inside of here very well. There you go. You can kind of see the spring. I've attached it down to the handle with like polyplastics, and then I attached it to the pipe with polyplastics as well. So what I did is I took a piece of PVC pipe, 3/4 inch thin wall, the thin wall kind. I think it's like 200 SE or something like that. It's not the Schedule 40, it's the other one. It's a little bit thinner. When you go to like Home Depot or whatever, just take like a 1/2 inch PVC pipe, see if you can fit it inside. The Schedule 40 3/4 inch you can't, but the thinner wall you can. Then I added the hinging piece. I created the spring on the inside there. I had a couple test springs that I tried to make that kind of worked or didn't work before I got to this one that did work. And so yeah, let's show you what this can do. So basically it'll sit on the on his upper leg right here, right? And so when it's attached there, I'm gonna have them magnetize on in the middle here. So when they're on, it'll actually have his symbol, the Nightwing symbol, that will be made by the two of them. So this other one will have a little bit extra piece that juts out, like that. I don't know if you guys can tell what's going on in that close-up, but so when we do the other one, it's going to have the other part of the head, so of the little bird. So anyway, sitting there, right? Grab your stick, pull the lever, and it extends to a 24 inch length. So yeah, pretty sweet. So as you can see, the hinging, with the spring and that hinge there, and then I have like a pin kind of thing that I did that made both the polyplastics, have it kind of riveted here on top, that drops down in to be able to lock those into place, extended. So now you have this extra reach to where I can, like, you know, reach clear over to the camera, versus when it's in. I need to add some stoppers and stuff still, but compared to when it's in, you know, that's as far as I can reach, kind of thing. So pretty sweet. Pull the lever, releases it, you can toss it out like that. So yeah, pretty cool. I ran a channel along the back here. Let's see, where's the camera at? There we go. I don't know if you can kind of see that little bit of a ridge that's sticking up on the top. I took just a little thin strip of PVC or of polyplastics and ran a little like channel along here. And if we start on the other one, I'll show you how I did that. But
You have a question about why not pull the Escrima stick off your back?
because I'm doing the Young Justice Nightwing, and that's not where his are. So hopefully that's not a lame answer, but that's the answer. Yeah, the character from Young Justice Nightwing, his are on like a drop-down leg holster on his leg. And plus, it's way cooler to have it be able to extend, right? So then the idea is that there'll be another piece that can pop out here, and then it'll be able to take the two, clip them together, and then you have a full like 4-foot long stick that you can then use to be able to fight with, kind of thing. Give him some more options. So let's see, what was I saying? Oh yeah. So then in the front here you can see the 1/2-inch PVC pipe doesn't fit like super snug. There's just a tiny little rim around. It fits in there pretty well, but there's just a tiny little rim, which is nice because it gives us something to work with. So on the end here, I did a tiny bit of polyplastics, just a thin layer, and then on that side, focus, on that side where I have the ridge on the interior pipe, I created a channel just right there, just on this front layer inside, where maybe you can see it better. See that channel right there of where the red's not? There's a little channel right there that this ridge just like slides in. That way it can't rotate out of place. It has to slide in one direction. You know, it's not going to spin around and rotate inside of itself. So that keeps it kind of on track.
It is PVC biking cosplay. I'm sorry, I don't know the rest of the question.
Yeah, PVC pipe. Just from like your local hardware store type of thing.
So. Welcome back, CC Wiz, and welcome, Rafaela.
Yeah, okay, so that's where I got to so far, working on this today.
Oh, that's his whole name. Okay. Yeah, he just asked for PVC.
Last night and today. Right? I started on this last night?
I think so. I was asleep.
I think so, yeah.
Yeah, you did that all last night for like 5 hours.
Yeah,
so. I
slept. So yeah, I think it's pretty cool. It'll look even cooler when it's like all black. But I kind of like with what I did on this with the handle and having to kind of extend it out. I added, you know, some little stepping just to kind of change it up a little bit, add some like a little extra layer of detail, and then you have the springing lever, which is sweet. So yeah, so let's figure out this part. We're going to use a different type of spring, and we're going to have this piece of PVC that's going to sit in here. Normally you'll be able to push a little button right here and slide it out like that, and then you'll be able to take the other, I don't have another piece cut, but imagine this was the other Escrima stick. You'll just be able to take it and pop it right onto that one, and then you have a staff to be able to fight with. So that's kind of the next stage, the next step in making this. So let's do it. Any questions on that before we just jump in, I guess?
Not that I think.
Okay. So, the first thing I need to do is actually, let me see if we can see inside of there. So that's where the end of the other one comes, the other piece of PVC pipe. And so I kind of need to create a little bit of a stopper in there because before we put this in, because when this is out, we don't want You know, this might be locked in place, but we don't want, when we push it back in, we don't want it going past a certain point. So right now, if I lift this up, and instead of tilting it this way to where it'll come out, if I let it go back this way, it can slide in past where I want it to be able to go to line up this pin, right? So we want to have it right where it lines up with this pin set in place, and then just create a little stopper inside of the PVC pipe to make sure that it stops at that point, if that makes sense. So it doesn't go past that. So we'll do that with some polyplastics. I'll throw some on to heat up here, and then basically we'll just I'll probably just put like see, it's kind of a lot going on in a small space. Put a little bit on one side, like on the inside, just like a little bit right here, and a little bit maybe over here. Don't need to get like too carried away. Just like want to take 2 little balls and kind of just stick them in there, so that they're good to go. So let's do that. Okay, so I'm going to take some polyplastics, moldable plastic. Comes in these little pellets. Let's see. There we go. And you throw them in hot water, and oh shoot.
What?
I didn't have the heat on. Would you mind putting some more water in this for me? Thank you. I don't think so. Is it? No. Okay. All right. So sorry. I thought I flipped my switch on because I'm thinking I was turning the heat on earlier, but apparently I did not. So Olivia's getting me some more water in it, and then I've got this heating up. It's just a little like single burner electric hot plate kind of thing that I put in my workspace to be able to do these. We can heat it up with a heat gun or different things too. It's just a little bit from going from the pellet form into just kind of getting a little bunch of stuff to put in. It's easier just to throw it in some hot water and pull it out and kind of mesh it together and do that. But since we don't have that, we'll just heat it up with the heat gun while that water is heating up. Since we don't need too much. So what? Yeah, it's on now. It's on high. Okay, so let me grab. So usually when I do that and heating it up with a heat gun, I like to grab just like a cookie sheet. Metal is the best thing to heat it up on. It'll stick to a lot of other surfaces, painted or plastic or basically a lot of surfaces it'll stick to. Metal, it'll stick to until it cools, and then you can just pull it off. All right, so let's see. We don't need too much, like I said, so I'm just gonna grab like a little pinch of this here. It goes a long ways. You get a small little bottle or a little tub or just the 35-ounce tub, and it'll last you like a really long time. So I'm gonna kind of actually put these down in the corner of the thing here and tilt it, just because the air from the heat gun will cause them to roll away. Thank you. Thanks for watching them. You guys are all so awesome. Okay, so you know they're ready once they've gone transparent. Like that. So now with heating it up with the heat gun, it's going to be a bit hotter than it would be coming out of the water as well. So you need to be careful. You can see it's kind of, it's like sticking to my fingernail kind of thing. So I just want like 2 little balls here like this, and then I'm just gonna reach it down in there and just kind of press it into the wall there, just above where that ends on either side. I don't know if you guys saw much of that at all, but I just kind of pressed it in on either side. By the time I did the second one, it wasn't too hot still, so I don't know how well it stuck to the PVC in there. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to pull out that inner... I'm not going to pull it out because it runs all the way through, but I'll slide that inner piece forward so that we're not heating that up, and then I'm just going to point the heat gun inside of there for a second just to kind of heat those up a little bit more, and then make sure that they're going to stick. Oh yeah, so one of them already dropped out. So you want to be careful with this plastic. It gets hot. Also the PVC pipe. As you can see, when I was pointing the heat gun down in there, kind of heated up the PVC pipe and burned it a little bit. But what I tend to do is have like a little dish of cool water that you can kind of dip your finger in, and then that way it kind of coats it a little bit, and then you can kind of run across the plastic, smooth it out, and it kind of creates a little buffer for a second from the heat. Or if you have heat resistant gloves. Lock that into place there, and then make sure that this stopper is going to be stopping it.
What's the next cosplay you want to do? Raphael asked.
It's a good question.
We're kind of in crunch time.
Yeah, I'm just crunching to try to get everything ready for Comic-Con, so right now I haven't even thought of it. Okay, so here's the other piece that kind of fell off earlier. While this is cooling here, I'm going to take this and just heat it up. Can we see this on the...
I'm sorry, I'm kind of
it's okay. Tried to go up high, but then I can't see what they're seeing.
I mean, all we can see is the heat gun. I'm not going to finish my cyborg with this painting to do a Batfleck costume.
Oh, cool. Wait, is that a question or just a statement?
Oh, he'll do the painting after back flag.
Oh,
Cool.
sweet. That'll be cool.
I love that everyone calls him back flag. That's so funny.
Okay. So I'm just making sure. So if you noticed, I was kind of undoing this and pulling that piece out, and then kind of playing with these a little bit, pushing it back in. I just wanted to make sure that it wasn't sticking to it, because we don't want it to get stuck in there. We just want those to become stoppers to just kind of stop it from going too far. So then we're going to be putting this piece in. We'll probably have to trim it down now just a little bit because now we added those stoppers. So we'll trim that down just a tad. Let's mark that. And then I'm excited for this next part because we get to make some cool... You guys know those like telescoping like paint poles or like some of the older tent poles and stuff like that, where you would have the two poles and one of them would have a little kind of button thing on it, a little plunger piece, and then you like push it in, and then that little plunger would pop up inside of the hole, and that would connect the poles together, and then you just push the button and then pull them apart. That's basically like what I'm doing with this. So we're going to be making some of those little plunger springs, which will be cool. And if any of you guys are wondering, because I'll be using polyplastics a lot in this, if you guys are wondering where to get that, I have in basically every one of my normal build videos, not like ones that were live streams, I have a link usually in the description that says polyplastics, get it here kind of thing. And if you go through that link, then I get an affiliate. I'm an affiliate with them. And so if you go through my link and buy your polyplastics through my link, then I do get a kickback, and it helps support me and be able to support the channel. So that would be greatly appreciated. That would be awesome. But yeah, so and then also too, don't know if I remembered, this is Sintra. This is the same material I've been building the rest of the rest of the Nightwing costume out of. And so if we start on to the next one tonight, if we get this done quick, then I'll show you guys kind of how I did that as well. So, okay, so let's see. Let's bring it in here a little bit closer now. So you can see I just kind of marked where we needed to cut that. I think this should be enough that we're cutting off that we can use this. So this is just a pair of pipe cutters.
CC says, make the stoppers part of the grip or something. Did you finish the mask? Those were two different thoughts.
I did not finish the mask yet. It's basically at where we left off. I need to just do a little bit of sanding and then paint it. I've kind of been waiting to kind of paint everything all at once. But
now it's getting colder, so
yeah, now it's getting colder, so I need to do it ASAP. Okay, cool. So I just clipped that down. So now this should sit a little bit more flush down here. And then we'll want to add, so let's find the center point on this. Where did that go? There it is. So we're gonna want to find the center point on this, so we know basically where the two are gonna meet up, and try to have that sit in the middle, right? So it's gonna sit all the way in normally, then you'll push this button, be able to pop that out, and then it will be able to have the other one come and hook in, and then that button will pop up into the other one, if that makes sense. So yeah, so there'll be a little button, a little knob plunger thing on either side of this. And then the one plunger will sit right here, locked in, right? The other side won't have anything, it'll just have a hole. And then you push this, you know, tip it over, and then the button that's on this side will then pop in there into place. And then you bring your other one, snap it on, and go. So that's kind of what I came up with as far as to be able to quickly connect them together. Like if you were needing to connect them together in the middle of a fight kind of thing, you just go boom, tilt, snap, you know. So that's hopefully will work. We'll also probably want to take a little bit of polyplastics and wrap it around this piece so that it does fit more snug in here, just to kind of fill that little bit of a gap around the edge, so that this fits really snug. So when we pop that other one on, there's not a wobble in the middle. Do you know what I mean? So yeah, pretty cool. So let's find the centerpiece on this. Now that we cut it down to size. So it's basically 1 7/8 inches across. So I'm going to go, that's basically 2 inches. So just shy, a 1/16 inch shy of 1 inch. Be where we want to be. I'm just going to mark it with the pencil. Oh, sorry, out of frame. So I'm just going just a 1/16 inch shy of the 1 inch mark there. I'm just doing a couple marks around just so no matter how we have it oriented, we can easily see our lines. Okay, cool. So that roughly gives us our center mark. And then actually we should probably wrap this in polyplastics first. And in doing so, we're going to want to create a similar type of channel thing so that this doesn't rotate around when it slides out, so that it doesn't catch and it just like falls out or something. So we'll create a similar channel thing like I did on the other one on this as well. And then that will help make it more likely that it'll actually be quick in a, you know, in a fight, to be able to turn it from a Escrima stick to a bow staff. So let's see. Okay, so polyplastics then. Looks like my water's heating up. Oh, you're great, love. So this process is going to be kind of just a little bit of a trial and error to wrap this. What we're going to do is wrap it, but then just leave a spot that's not wrapped, kind of along one edge, just to be able to have that channel like we were talking about. And then, but it needs to be pretty thin. So basically what I'm going to do is just get some polyplastics, put it on there really thin, wrap it around, and and then we'll kind of test it. If it's too much on there, then we'll heat it up, take some off. If it's not enough, we'll add some on, that kind of thing. So. Doing that. Cool. So it's already transparent there. Kind of all in individual beads. So I'm just kind of scooping them all up, getting them all to stick to each other. And voila. So you can see how it's kind of like all bumpy because it's just like a bunch of beads. But then we just squish it all together. And now it's all one cohesive piece. Okay, so now we're just going to take it and just kind of, whoa, you okay?
Yep.
Stretch it out along, sorry, out of frame again. Stretch it out along the piece until we get back around to this side. And sorry, it goes transparent when it's hot, so it's probably hard to see exactly what's going on. So now I'm getting around to this edge, and I'm just gonna kind of create a little channel. It's not gonna be perfect to begin with here, but what we can do is, you know, heat it up and make it a little bit more perfect. As we go into the process, so. Okay, so there will be some spots that aren't going to be sticking quite all the very well and stuff too. Like right here, this side kind of is coming up a little bit because by the time I got to that, it had started to cool. It wasn't sticky and hot and sticky enough to get on there. So once we heat that back up, it'll, with the heat gun, then it'll stick on there just fine. So, okay, so let's take a look. It's not quite cooled all the way yet, but already I can tell that I'm way too thick on that side and on that side as well. So I'm gonna need to thin it all down. So what I'm gonna do to do that is I'm just gonna kind of push everything out to the edges from the center, heat it up and kind of smooth it all out to the edges, make the edges a little bit thicker, but I'm gonna push them off the edge of the PVC pipe. Then we can come through with a little razor blade and just get rid of the excess. So here goes. Any questions? Have you seen? No. Sorry guys if I'm just like kind of all business tonight. I'm just getting really nervous with Salt Lake City Comic Con being on starting Thursday next week. That I am just getting nervous about getting everything done in time.
And then I'm working on my stuff too.
Yeah, and Olivia's a little bit quieter to work. She's working on her stuff. We're just kind of at crunch time.
Cece says, I wish I could go. I wish you could too. That would be so fun to meet you.
Yeah, that would be way fun.
Oh, me too, Zoe.
I'm just trying to preserve that little channel there.
Jacqueline Lucas wants to know, is a Warbler on the pipe?
No, it's just polyplastics, moldable thermoplastic. It's Warbler has this in it, but this is just like it in its native form. Warbler is like this mixed with fine sawdust and potentially other things. But yeah, this is polycaprolactone, is the scientific name, I guess. But yeah, I use the brand Polyplastics, which is what I'm using right here. Let me show you. Boom. And you can get it, any of the links, any of the videos that I have on my channel, any of the normal build videos that aren't the live builds. I usually have a link in the description that says, get your Polyplastics right here at this link. And that's an affiliate link, so if you guys buy any through it, then it also gives me a kickback and helps support me and my channel, so that would be awesome. But yeah, it's amazing stuff. You can make your own Warbler using it as well. I have a video on my channel on how to make your own Warbler using Polyplastics. I do it a little bit different mixture than what they do. I don't do the sawdust. I do baking flour, and I call it Poly Armor rather than Warbler. It's actually a lot smoother than Warbler and paints better. And anyway, I like it a lot. It's stickier. But yeah, anyway, so great question. All right, so I'm gonna have to like reheat this section now because it kind of took me a little bit longer on that section as we continue forward with this.
Thank you.
Yeah, no problem. Whew. Careful heating that close to your fingers. So you guys can't see, but what I keep doing as I'm like kind of bringing this up and out of frame is I'm actually just licking my thumbs. I don't have...
Don't tell everyone.
Sorry. I don't have my little cup of cool water right here with me, so I'm just trying to improvise. But also, too, it'd be hard to dip my thumbs in the water. But it just helps me to get keeps my fingers from catching and sticking onto the plastic. Just kind of gives a little bit of a buffer to be able to slide more smoothly across the surface there. Sorry if that grossed anybody out, but... You're like, why did she tell him that? Yep. That's what I do.
Ooh, yeah, I want to show you. Should I show him?
Yeah.
Well, I don't have all of it. I'm working on the skirt and bustle right now because I'm at kind of a point of no return of how long I want it to be. But I finished my corset yesterday, so I just altered one that I bought because I'm a cheater.
Do you want me to point the camera that way?
No, I'll just like put it down or something.
Here.
I don't know.
I'll just flip it.
Oh my. Hi. YouTube, I'm a mess. So, I just bought this really inexpensive corset online.
On Wish.
On Wish. And it had these, like, cheap buckles in the front that I cut off. And then I painted everything gold. All the rivets and everything. And then I made this panel for the front. Here, I'll get rid of that for right now. And then I sewed it on, and then I added Velcro to right here, so you can kind of see how biker chicky it was before. And then I covered that up and sewed on these buttons. And then I'll have a gray top, and I'm attaching these kind of fun tassel-y bangle things, 'cause it's fancy. And she's a thief, so we need some jewels.
Need some bling.
So that's kind of the main thing that I have done. Skylar's gonna hopefully make me a cowl. And then, yeah, I'm working on the bustle. I have to add fringe to it. And then I have this, I'm a cheater. So I just bought this, but I'm gonna add some cool stuff to it. And it's like it'll go on my thigh.
Drop down leg bag kind of thing.
And then I have a really big bustle that I've made, but then I'm just working on the skirt. I'm really
It's gonna be really
today.
cool. Sorry.
And then, so, I guess the connection was really poor. Oh, mine isn't even on. This is offline. Oh, now it's on.
Sorry guys, I don't know why we're having a bad connection issues right now.
Not only two of us are on.
Okay, so now I'm just trimming off these edges, the excess that we kind of pushed off to the side, and we may need to go through and do this again depending. I might have overestimated how much polyplastics to put on there to begin with, so.
Hi, 3D Welcome. Do you still need the water boiling? Because it looks like it might be.
I'll just turn it on the medium. Okay. Great thing about this too is you can reheat and reshape as much as you need to, so don't throw away basically any scraps that you have of the polyplastics, because you just toss this back in the hot water and then pull it out and make something else out of it. So very little, to basically no waste with this stuff. It's amazing. All right, so now let's test this and see if we're a lot closer, but we still need to go a little bit thinner on that side and also on this side. So I think if we just do that same thing we just did, going through one more pass, should be good to go.
Says you have the best YouTube channel.
Thank you. I appreciate it. Oh no.
Julie says maybe it'd be better if you use sandpaper. I don't know.
Could use sandpaper. The thing with using sandpaper on this is that sandpaper kind of creates a lot of friction and will start to heat up the surface. And then rather than kind of sanding it down smooth, it'll just kind of start to ripple, if that makes sense. And so, and usually you don't have to do like trying to get it like this thin, fine-tuned on something, but whereas we're trying to kind of create this very specific gap, or bridging that gap kind of thing, we have to be quite specific with it, but usually that's not the case. But I mean, it is sandable. It just kind of starts to kind of chew it up once that enough friction is created where it reaches that softening point of the plastic. So I find it like almost easier sometimes to just heat it up with the heat gun. Okay, so I'm just need to reheat this section just a little bit. I didn't get too well. Nice thing about the fact that it is so thin that it heats up a lot quicker and cools quicker for us. We'll set that for a second, let it kind of finish cooling. And we'll cut off those ends and then give that a try. So let me kind of show you while that's cooling a little bit of the design for those plunger the little plunger springs that we're going to be making. So let's say that this is the inside of the pipe, right? Right, so let's say like that's where the opening of the pipe is, right? And then, so we're gonna have like the little plunger is gonna pop up through this hole in the top of the pipe, right? And so we kind of need to have it like on a spring, so when you push that down and let go, it'll like just pop back up, into place. So what that's gonna look like is we're gonna take the Sintra and in tandem with polyplastics, which will make our little plunger piece, right? And then we're gonna create a little piece from the Sintra that does something kind of like this, right? So it's just pretty simple, pretty straightforward. And actually, it might be more like not so much along there, but it'll kind of straighten out right there, and it'll come down and just curve around like that. And then we'll probably like, hot glue that down on the inside of the PVC piece or whatever. So when this pushes down, this has a little bit of flex to it in the material. So, you know, you can make this out of like a little sheet of metal, or we're going to use the Sintra, has that flex to it. So that'll kind of have that flex where it can kind of push down. But it's going to want to spring back to its original position once you let go. It's going to be able to pew, 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 pew. So pretty super simple, straightforward. Hopefully that design works and we'll be able to use that. So that'll be sweet. Cool. So yeah, this should be cooled enough now. Let's pull this back in here. Trim off these edges. Okay. All right, so let's give that a try and see how we're doing. Dang it, still too tight. And I actually wonder how much of that has to do with the fact that I kind of, when I heated up that PVC pipe at the end, kind of bent it out of shape. Not too much. Man, that is such a thin layer. Oh well, okay. Well, so there's got to be some section of this that's there we go. So I just looking at it from the cross section here, I can kind of see it's quite a bit thicker right here. That's probably a hold up point. Kind of thicker through in here. Maybe a little bit right there. So yeah, I think maybe just do another pass of the same thing here. Sorry, this I was hoping that like 1 millimeter Sintra, if I just like wrapped it around and glued it on there, that would be like the perfect thickness to do it, but it was too thick, so I had to do something that we could scale down thinner. And to make it easier, you could just do like just a little ring on either side of this. That's what I did on the piece that slides in here, because I didn't do the whole thing. I just did a little ring on each edge kind of thing. But with this one, because it's kind of going to be holding the two pieces together with some length and quite a bit of, you know, pressure on it, I preferred and wanted it to have this all the way across so that it was like snug the whole way across. Didn't have any kind of play in it. Right along here is one of the thickest parts, so that's where I'm going to start.
had an idea. She said it
Oh,
occurs to
shoot.
me, instead of pushing it with your fingers, you could try rolling it on the tray so you'd have an even surface.
Yeah, that's a good idea.
Julie's always thinking.
Oh shoot, I still had the heat on. That's why I was going for so long. So what happened there is I just accidentally set this down on the tray where there was some plastic that was heated up and it stuck to it. It just kind of ruined what I just did. Okay. Dang it, I just did it again. Okay. Alright, so hopefully, I mean, we've got this much more excess that we've got to be able to trim off. That should hopefully make it so we can do it. Huh? Okay. So, hasn't quite cooled all the way actually. I don't know if you guys can see that, but it was smooth, and now I've got like a bunch of fingerprints in there and stuff because once I started doing that, it wasn't quite cooled all the way. Okay. Here we go. Take 3. Nice.
Yay! 3DDD wants to know if you'll paint it live.
Probably not, because I need to have this by next Thursday, and our next live stream won't be till Friday or till Saturday. So, sorry.
When are you gonna do your live stream since you'll be at Comic? I guess it will be. You won't be there at 9.
Woo! Okay, so
But you might want to do. I guess it wouldn't be 2 hours.
I am gonna need to make this side a little bit less thick. So you can see it slides pretty, well, no, you can't see because I'm out of frame.
Sorry, I'm not paying attention.
So you can slide it, you're fine, honey. It slides pretty easy on this edge. But once on this half, but once it gets to this half, it kind of starts to be a little bit more snug, a little bit too tight. So I need to take care of that. And you know what? It might actually just be based on the orientation inside of this pipe.
Excuse me.
Yeah, it is. So I'm gonna actually heat this at PVC a little bit. Oh. So when I overheated it, or when I was heating those up on the inside, on the bottom here, and I kind of overheated this edge, I think it got a little bit misshapen, which is kind of contributing partially to our problem. That's the other thing having the cool water on hand is helpful for, is to just kind of, when you're trying to get things to cool a little bit quicker, you just kind of rub a thin layer of that cool water on it, and the evaporation and stuff helps cool it down.
That was water, not spit. Just...
Yeah, I've got the water now. Uh-oh.
Like
Huh? Dang it, it's still on. Why do I keep doing that? There we go. Okay, so yeah, obviously, I can't be doing that if I'm trying to get this little piece to pop out in a battle. Or you'd be a goner kind of thing. So, we definitely have to do something about this edge. So,
here we are again.
now that that heat gun's quieted down,
So this would be a good time for me to say that if you live in Utah and are over the age of 18 and can qualify to buy a home, I'd love to help you. And then you will have bought a home from Cosplay Apprentice's wife. Just saying.
there you go.
Shameless plug. So I highly doubt that everyone meets those qualifications, but there you go. Now.
But yeah, I don't know if you guys knew, Olivia's a real estate agent. So.
Or if you know anyone moving to Utah.
Yeah, or if you know anybody moving to Utah.
Hashtag shameless plug.
Or if, or even if you just want her to kind of like look up agents in a different area where somebody or you might be moving, let her know and she can actually like look them up and kind of do a little bit of research and try to find someone that she thinks would be a good fit for you, and then refer you to them, and then she would actually get a little bit of a percentage of the commission for referring them to that agent kind of thing too.
I love
so.
CC Wiz's hashtag shameless plug.
It's
It's true. I don't know why that needed to be said, but there you go. I thought it just popped in my brain.
Why not? Take advantages of those moments of silence. Okay. Here we go. 4th time's the charm, right?
This is never ending.
Well, I just...
It's just funny that this tiny little thing is what's like
Yep.
what we're doing all night.
Yep. Sometimes this is how it goes. It probably happens to me more than other people because I try to make my builds more complicated than they need to be.
I know. I keep thinking, why does this need to be a bow staff?
Like, well, I could have just done 2 sticks. I could have just done 2 pieces of PVC pipe this thick, painted them black and capped them, and then just put them on my leg. But no, I had to be all creative and come up with a hinged lever that looks like the the symbol, and then extends to double its size, and then also connects into the other
you're
one.
rubbing salt in the wound of tonight. How is everyone tonight? What's going on in your lives? I want to hear. We don't have Zach B. Bob here
To give us all the latest jokes. Seriously, he's got like an encyclopedia of jokes or something.
No, I keep wondering if you're just looking them up online because he has new ones all the time.
All right.
Much Prop says taking a break from prop making tonight. Just watching someone else struggle with their props. I added that up, but...
Yeah. Seriously though. Okay.
The struggle is real.
I'm beginning to think.
So real tonight. So real.
I'm beginning to think that it's less and less about what we've done here, and more about the fact that this got out of shape. Oh, that side fits snug. And this one too. probably from that.
Is there enough water in there that it's not just going to be empty?
Yeah. Okay. So, upon further review on the play, I found that I think part of the problem is being created when I am...
Maybe you should take a second to catch people up on what you're working on.
Okay. Did somebody ask?
No, I haven't seen a couple people on here. And now we're up to 9 or 10 people.
Okay.
I just thought maybe just like fill them in a little bit.
Yeah, let's just show you. Nightwing's Escrima sticks. So, what I did is I made them so that they fit on the side, because that's how the Young Justice Nightwing is. But I did add my own flair to it so that it has the emblem, the symbol on it when they're sitting next to each other on the leg. So if you can tell there, you have the flipped side. This side will have a little beak on it. Anyway, but yeah, I made it so that you can lift it up. You open up this lever right here. And then you can extend it to almost double its length. And then also I'm going to make it so the two of them pop together and you can turn it into a bow staff kind of thing too. So that is basically where I'm at, where we're at. We're working on the part to be able to make it a bow staff. And it's kind of been giving us some troubles. But the rest of it, it's pretty cool so far.
CC Wiz says, wow, that was so awesome.
Thank you.
I think his Wi-Fi was a little sketchy in the beginning.
Oh, okay, cool. Yeah, so that's kind of catches you up as to what we're looking at. I think it's turning out pretty cool. And I just thought it was a fun idea. When I was looking up, I looked up Escrima, the martial arts, and the size of their sticks and everything. And in order to fit this on my leg, like the Young Justice one does, it can only be 14 inches long, and the Escrima sticks are usually 24 to 28 to 30 inches long. And so I was like, well, that's going to be quite a bit shorter. So I thought, why not create a lever that hinges and then lets you extend the length of the blade. So that's what I did. And then while we're at it, why don't we make that lever look like the Nightwing symbol? So, and then after that, while we're at it, why don't we make it turn into a bow staff?
Much process, like a curling iron. Like, yeah, we thought it looked like that.
Yeah, I said that earlier too. It kind of looks like a curling iron, especially with the different colors. I think once it's all black.
And then you have the two of them that magnet.
Yeah, and this is blue. And then when they're sitting next to each other and everything too. I mean, this would be one really cool curling iron, right?
It's like a really big curl.
Really long hair. Just burn my face. Alrighty, cool. So let's jump back into getting that.
Sorry, I thought you could use a break too.
Yeah, that's good.
A curling iron for a big head. Much better.
Yes.
CC says function and looks, perfect combo.
Cha. That's what I do.
Well, welcome Ash Rendar. They said that's great.
Thank you. Yeah, I'm pretty excited about it.
Say I love your builds. I'm excited to check out your panel at Salt Lake Comic Con. Oh, good. We're excited to see you there.
Yeah, that'll be awesome. So I guess I'm making like 4 of them. I guess there's the potential that the schedule can still change leading up to until like the day of kind of thing, but should be in 4 panels, 1 on Thursday, 2 on Friday, 1 on Saturday, right?
I don't know. I wasn't paying attention to what you just said.
But yeah, anyway, whichever days you're there and whichever ones, just look it up. You can go onto the app and then just search my name and you'll be able to see which ones. But I would love to have you guys swing by and say hi. That'd be sweet. We can hang out. So, I'm thinking that upon further review on this, I held it up to the other 3/4 inch pipe here, and I was just seeing where it was catching. And there's a couple spots where when I started to cut the edges, I was kind of pushing down with my hand, and it actually pushed up plastic in certain spots that kind of create some little high spots that are catching. So I'm just gonna cut them off. This doesn't have to be like super smooth and sleek looking or anything, because it's just gonna be this connector piece basically. So just kind of any high spots, I'm just gonna cut them off, and hopefully that will help. Ooh, that was probably a little deep.
It's deep, man. I like how I brought all my stuff down to work on mine and then I just gave up.
I'm sorry.
No, I just don't know. I'm stuck.
Well, yeah, because you were gonna just color those things, but then you're like, oh, but it's fine, right?
Color?
Yeah, you were gonna color all the rivets and stuff.
I was gonna color the rivets, but I like them the way they are.
Like them just the way they are. Okay, so I'm just gonna clean up our little channel here that we were making.
Much Prop said, I started watching your polyplastic videos, bought and made my own prop, and then Polyplastic asked me to make videos for them. You do awesome work.
Sweet!
Yeah, Polyplastics is great. They're a great company.
Yeah. The owner is so cool. And they're just super great customer service, and I've enjoyed all my interactions with them. And they have a great product.
Like the product.
Yeah, and they have a great product.
We kind of reached out to them because we liked the product so much.
Yeah. Because I tried Instamorph and stuff too, and that was kind of the first one that I was introduced to. And I was like, this is such a cool thing. And then went to order some more on Amazon because I had been gifted the first one. And then I saw Polyplastics on there, and I was like, huh, I'll give them a try. And tried it out, and it has a longer working time. It seams blend together better, and it's like overall there's like so many things about it that I just love. And not that Instamorph's bad. It's just once I tried Polyplastics, I was like, man.
He said they have awesome videos by me.
Ain't going back.
Shameless plug.
Yeah, that's great. Wait, what's your?
That's Much Props.
Hold up. Are you the one that did the Chinese mask? What? The like samurai stuff?
I'm not sure. I'm not seeing that on there.
Like the samurai helmet thing? Yep, sweet. Yeah, dude, I've totally seen your videos. That's awesome. You do some sweet stuff, man. I love those. Small world. That's awesome. Yeah, so you've been kind of doing stuff on the Polyplastics YouTube channel, huh?
Started my own channel a few months ago.
Cool. Yeah, that's awesome. Sweet. Well, Polyplastics rocks. Team Polyplastics. Hashtag Team Polyplastics.
We're all about the hashtags.
Much props. Where are you based out of? If you don't mind me asking.
3DD says, I'm making a Robin cosplay. Do you have some tips? And Much Props says Texas.
Cool.
Hope you're safe. I guess it's over now, but the hurricane. I don't know.
Oh yeah. That's true. Hopefully you weren't in part of Texas that was affected by the hurricanes and stuff, right? If so, hopefully you and all your family safe.
I'm a junior high teacher. Nope. I'm hoping that nope means that you weren't in the area.
Good. And then somebody said they were working on Robin. If you watch Nightwing was Robin, the original Robin before he became Nightwing. And so he kind of, for his mask, he basically kept a lot of the same characteristics of it when he did his Nightwing mask. And so if you go to my live build from last week, I still have it up. Because a lot of people have been excited about it, the how to make Nightwing's mask. Basically go from start to finish in that video. It's kind of long, but it gives you the whole process. So we go through drawing up the design, taping, creating a pattern for it, transferring it onto foam, heating it, shaping it, gluing it together, and everything. And so you could do that same thing. You just come up with a slightly different design or however you want it to look and to match the Robin that you're going for. And then hopefully that could help kind of guide you on that. And then otherwise, depends on kind of what look you're going for. If you're going for the old original classic Robin, or which ones and stuff. If you're going more with textile type of kind of the tight spandex suit kind of thing, or if you're trying to make it a little more armored or what. But yeah, just kind of, if you can give me some more details, I can kind of recommend some more things. But
aren't there several different Robins? Everyone's I'm a blah blah blah.
Well, there's the Dick Grayson Robin. There's the something Wayne. What's his name?
I'm sure everyone will tell us in just a second.
Yeah.
I don't know why that water is super stressing me out. Is it gonna boil away?
Maybe.
It's not good. It'll burn the bottom of the pan.
Still got a ½ inch across the whole thing.
Oh, gosh.
If you want to go put more water in it, we can.
This dork. Damien.
Damien. Can you look that up?
I'll be your little research.
Be the man behind the screen, or what was it in Spider-Man that his little friend kept saying?
Guy in the chair?
The guy in the chair, yeah. You can be my guy in the chair.
I am your guy in the chair.
You are. You're sitting in a chair. You're my gal in a chair.
I'm your lazy person in a chair. Damian Wayne.
Damian Wayne, yeah. He's the one after Dick Grayson, right? Okay, cool. You guys, I think we have liftoff. Dang it. I do want that to be able to slide out with gravity, though. So, not quite. Now I'm starting to wonder if I shouldn't have even added any you know what? It's at about the same point every time when it starts to get tight on here. So I wonder if it's not so much this as it is maybe one of these things on the inside here. It's catching on. Oh, I bet that's it.
So I don't know that much about Damien. I mean, is he more of a kid? That's what it's looking like.
Well, yeah. So, are you doing? Isn't Damian Wayne the one that does? Is Robin in Young Justice after Grayson becomes Nightwing and is leading the team and gives the mantle of Robin to someone else? Is that him in that show? 'Cause he has a pretty cool Robin costume in that one in Young Justice.
Cece says he's 10. Yeah, he looks really little. But Cece says that's Tim Drake.
Oh,
okay. I knew there were like 3 or 4.
Okay, yeah. There's a bunch of them, yeah.
Welcome, Rafi Noodle.
Cool, thanks, guys. I'm just barely starting to get into the whole Batman universe and DC Comics a little bit.
Always kind of
a bit more. I've been always more Marvel leaning, so especially Spider-Man. So I appreciate the help and patience as I try to learn more and work my way into this world.
It's not. Oh, I need to hit play. That would be why it's not playing. Whoops.
Okay, so I think that it's not this, and it may not have been this for a while. The thickness on this that's kind of causing the problems. So remember when we added the little stoppers right here to stop this one from going too far back in going past where we want it to go, because right now it stops right where we want it. And we added those stoppers in the back, but I kind of like just pushed them and just kind of pushed them in, and some of the top parts of it as I pushed it just kind of, tapered up into the pipe where we're putting this piece. So while it goes in pretty well, just fine for most of it, once it gets to the end and it gets closer to those, it starts kind of running up. It starts kind of running up that like ramp, and then it starts to kind of catch, and it gets tighter and tighter as it goes up, obviously. So I just need to maybe trim those a little bit or something. It's the hard part with working on the inside of a pipe.
Well, and your Batman, Rafi Doodle. 3DDD asks, should I use foam as the armor?
I would. I'm going to tell you guys all, after working with Sintra to do this costume, I probably won't use Sintra to make a costume again. I may use it. Yeah, I mean the Mandalorian armor and stuff like that, like it probably works great, and they have templates and things that you can do to be able to get it just perfect, and bucks and stuff you can use. But like there's some really cool aspects of it, but I would make the costume stuff out of foam. But I do love it for props so far. With doing the Guardians of the Galaxy Walkman, with doing this, I do like it a lot for props. So I'll give it props on props. But and then just kind of like I'll use it for pieces and stuff and costumes, but not for full out costume pieces.
Much props.
Much props. Much props to Sintra for props.
From much props.
From much props. But yeah, so that's kind of just my experience, personal opinion on that so far. It's just really time consuming. It makes some really cool stuff doing it, but it's a very time consuming process compared to foam. Like I made that mask in one night with you guys, and I made like 2 or 3 hinges in one night with you guys or something. Like that. The hinges went pretty quick actually, but like made like half of an arm piece, you know, in a night. So that's kind of just my.
Much Power wants to know if you've tried the sheets of polyplastic.
Yes. Yeah, I like those a lot. I've used them for a bunch of things, especially on my lightsabers and that kind of thing. Comes in super handy. And then I thought about using it for this, but I wanted something that just was a little bit thicker and more heat resistant for this. For this lever. And it just needed to be a bit stiffer because it would have to go across this long distance. So I almost used the sheets to do the lever piece as well. But I love the polyplastic sheets as well. Okay. So that's what I was gonna do. Release this, and I'm gonna throw some heat in here on those pieces and see if I can't kind of push them down a little bit so that they're not getting in the way of our piece that we're pushing in there now. Sure, I make some great faces while I'm trying to like look in here.
3DD says, this is your choice. Should I use a staff or sticks? Welcome, Dawn. Hello.
I would say sticks. Because after looking up Escrima, like the martial arts of Escrima, like it's a pretty like awesome / brutal fighting style. And I was like, man, I admire Nightwing even more now because of his like Escrimador capabilities. Yeah, that's what they call Escrima martial artists, masters. They're called Escrimadors. I'm like, that's so sweet. But yeah, just like it's such a powerful form of martial arts because they are able to do the same moves. They do the same moves with sticks as it would be with knives, as it would be with your fists, with your hands, kind of thing. So it's pretty awesome because you train in like that form, and you do the same movements, the same motions, the same like techniques and moves, basically, whether you have a weapon or not or whatever, you know, because sometimes a lot of like weaponed fighting styles, it's like you can only do that with that weapon type of thing, you know, a lot of them. And if your weapon gets knocked down or out of your hands or you don't have one, then you're kind of out of luck. But this, you know, you drop your sticks, then you just keep going. You can use the same muscle memory, the same things. So anyway, just because I recently got researched a lot and got really into the whole Escrima stuff, then I would say go with the sticks rather than the staff. Or, if you keep watching this video, you can make sticks that turn into a staff. But yeah, Don Cangrejo, what's up? Okay, cool. So, I heated that up in there. I kind of tried to push it down further than where it was before so that it's not in the way, hopefully, catching on this. So let's give it a try and see. Bada bing, bada boom. It still catches just enough where it like doesn't want to just fall out with gravity. Okay, if we get it in the right spot, then it'll fall out with gravity. I may need to trim a little bit off the bottom, but. Will our hot knife do that? I haven't used the hot knife to cut through PVC pipe, just the Sintra. Alright, I'll worry about cutting that off later, but we can get the... I think we're good to continue. So as long as we have it in this position, then we're good. But that's why we created the channel, so we can determine what position it's in, right? So all we're going to do to line up that channel with where it is on the pipe. Oh, come on, focus. So I don't know if you guys can see, there's just a little bit extra gap right there, right? Where we have our channel that we created. I'm only going to put on this pipe just a little piece right here on the end that'll kind of just be a guide for that. It's not going to be anything big. So I'm just going to mark that spot on
Wonders
here.
3DDD wonders if he should have a hood or not.
Do you have a picture of the Wayne? Damian Wayne?
It's a cool cloaky thing. And in this one he has a hood.
Let's see. Hoods are hard to make. Like it looks really cool. If you can make it, I'd say go for it. Cause it's like you can wear it down and it just looks like this cool cape, or you can pop it up and have this cool effect too. And it seems like a lot of his character has that hooded portion. So if you can make the hood, I would say go for it. Or find one or whatever. Oh, sorry. Then I would say go for it. But for me, well, I mean, like, I would probably try to brave it and do it, but maybe look at and see if you can find a pattern for a hood, because I tried to make one just on my own, guessing and trying to create a pattern, and it's hard to get the hood to look the way you want and, like, plan out the pattern for it and everything. So, yeah, I'd say if you can find a pattern, and a hood pattern should be, you could find something like that at Joann's or at, like, Michael's or, you know, some kind of craft store, online, that kind of thing, because they'll have stuff for hoods and cloaks and that kind of thing. So yeah, I would look up like a cloak, because that's basically what he's got, is kind of a cloak style hood. Look up a cloak template, cloak pattern kind of thing. I'd say go for it, because it looks really cool. But if you're intimidated by it, then I'd say just go with a cape, make it easy.
And then Dawn says you can use an end cap for PVC. It's like a pommel. They mean for the end of that. Yeah.
So what I'm doing, if I was just doing this to cap it off, then I would be really frustrated for sure. I mean, I'm still kind of frustrated with it, but what my plans are with this is that how come that's not Flip it around. There we go. Okay. This is actually gonna slide out halfway here like this. And then it's gonna allow us to be able to pop the other stick onto it and have it snap on so that the two combine and become a like bow staff kind of thing. So yeah, hopefully that answers your question. Because yeah, like they have those caps that would make it super easy to cap off the end. But I'm just making it more complicated. You okay?
I'm just looking at all of the armor that you need to still paint, and you have like 3 days to.
Yeah. Well, once I do this, I'm gonna crank this out pretty quick with having to figure it all out, right?
I'm so overwhelmed for you.
Okay, so I'm gonna put that little piece in there. So remember what I said about keeping all your little scrap pieces? Here we go. I'm just gonna be able to take this.
For the cause. Exactly, Cece. Welcome back, girl!
And voila.
Say Rorschach again?
What?
Rorschach? Oh, we were talking about that last time. What was that again?
Oh.
Yeah, I remember. I noticed from your little picture, so I knew.
Yeah. Did you start working on that? How's that going?
What was Rorschach? I know we talked about it last week.
It was the psychiatrist.
Oh yeah. Yeah, from Watchmen.
Yeah, I tried to look that up on Netflix. It's not on Netflix. DVD only on Netflix.
Who has a DVD player? Just kidding, but we don't.
Not that it's bad to have one.
We just don't.
We just don't.
She asked if you're melting metals.
Melting metals?
No, just plastic.
Yeah, I'll show you here in a second.
I'm back! I just had to do that for old time's sake, Ralphie Doodle. Welcome back.
Welcome back. Yeah, here I'll explain, or Olivia can explain while I'm doing this.
What?
The polyplastics, because it asked if I was melting metals.
No, it's just a moldable thermoplastic.
Heats up in water with a heat gun and becomes moldable. You can shape it however you want to, and then it cools to a hard plastic.
He's creating a channel with it to make the Escrima sticks turn into a bow staff.
Yep.
He says, oh yes, used those before. The polyplastics or moldable plastic.
Cool. Yeah, no, it's awesome stuff for sure. If you go to buy more, feel free to go through one of the links on my videos, and I'll get a kickback, and it'll help support my channel. Be greatly appreciated. Partially, I say that every time because I do, like, legally I have to, like, disclose that I'm an affiliate. But also, too, like, I know with, when I watch different YouTubers and stuff and they recommend things and whatnot, or they tell me about something, like, I try to see if they have the links because I generally guess that it's an affiliate link. and it'll help them out, and I want to be able to like give back to them for them sharing information with me and stuff. So there's that, as well as the legal reasons to tell you guys every time. Okay, sorry you guys can't see kind of what I'm doing here. I'm basically just, I took that little bit of plastic, put it in line here, just created that little...
Rough Noodle wants to know how you're going to make the extreme sticks go together.
So I've got this piece that's gonna have a little springed plunger thing on it on both sides. So it'll pop in here, and then it will also be able to, the other one will just be able to snap on, and it'll pop in. It's kind of hard to explain. Oh, yeah, I drew a picture. Right there, you can kind of see how that spring plunger thing's gonna work. And we're just about to get to that, so you asked the question just in time, because we're about to jump into it. You okay?
Me?
Yeah, you.
Little old me? Good night, Dawn. Yeah, I'm just getting sleepy.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, we're getting close to end of time, huh? Maybe we won't get to that yet. Okay, cool. Well, that gives it enough of an anti-rotation. It's not, like, perfect, but it still slides in and out, and we're not going to touch it. So, yeah, that's exactly what. So, I just want it to be able to slide enough that with a little flick, it will slide out.
How will you stop it?
The plunger thing.
Oh, okay, I understand now.
So yeah, it'll have the plunger thing in here that won't be sticking up, and I'll push this one and give it a little flick, and then it'll pop up on this one.
That girl said, oh, kind of like my expandable batoon. Ooh, it says offline.
Yeah. I didn't see it go offline.
Now it's back.
Yeah, like a telescoping baton kind of thing. So yeah, for those of you.
She said baton and I said batoon. I'm really tired. I'm like
for those of you
super tired.
That didn't see what I have so far with this.
Oh my gosh.
As
I'm so tired.
I have it set up so that it's this length, and then you are able to pull this lever back, and then pops out to this length. So now, I went from being able to only hit someone.
You're like a cartoon girl. I totally am. Such a weirdo.
From I can only reach this far with this to now I can get ya kind of thing. So I thought that was pretty cool. And then on the other side, I'm gonna be able to push that button, pop it, snap the other one in, and then turn it into a staff kind of thing. So I'll be like go like that. Probably push the button right there, drop that out, snap it in. Like that. That's my bow staff skills.
I like your skills.
Bow staff skills.
Cute.
Cute. Okay, so let's see. There we go. All right, sweet. So we have 2 minutes to quickly create a spring plunger. Ready, set, go. Okay. So, in order to drill these holes, I'm going to want to have, I'm going to need to drill this hole first through to there, and then I'm going to need to slide that to the position that I want it to hold, center, and then drill it through there. Right? Yes. Okay. So, I'm going to just take the center mark and mark on the outside where it's going to overlap when it's put out. Pencil. Cool, that'll be perfect. Alright, so I don't know if you guys saw that. I just basically took, because we marked the midpoint before on this, so then I just kind of held that at the midpoint and then marked on here how far in that goes. So I know I want to kind of put that spring button like right in the middle of that. So just kind of split the middle and drill right there. Okay, so now pop this back in. Get the right orientation. Perfect. Okay, so now I'm going to clamp this down. Trying to put it straight up here. Clamp that down. Hopefully that'll be enough. Okay, and then pull out the handy dandy drill. I'm going to do just kind of like a pre-drill with this small bit, just to kind of get in there and have it go through both before I do it with the big one, just so that this one's a little bit more, I have more control over the process with this one.
It says offline.
Huh?
Mine says offline.
It says I'm still on. It's annoying that it's having so many problems. It's like we pay for like fast internet so we can do these kind of things.
But it's working now, so maybe I just have to refresh.
Okay, now I'm doing a 5/16 inch bit. And nice and slow. Whoop. Okay.
Welcome, Ashley.
Welcome, welcome. Ah. Oh, I'm in reverse, that's why. Sorry, I lent my brother my regular drill, so I just have my hammer drill. like impact drill, so it's kind of just a little bit more intense than normal.
Is your screen frozen back, girl? Mine's working now, but it wasn't. Or are you just cold?
What?
She said it's frozen, no movie pun intended. So I didn't know if maybe her screen was frozen. Or she was just cold.
Oh.
But I'm assuming her screen was frozen.
Okay. Okay, calm down.
Oh, crazy.
Ah!
What did you do?
Dang, impact drill. It cracked the PVC. Dang it.
Hey, Cedric.
Well, that's not cool.
Just patch it up.
Yeah, well, that's the plan. I just can't add much to. I can't add anything to the thickness on the outside. I'll do it on the inside. Yeah.
Sorry, it's not working back, girl. I don't know if you can hear us, but it's not super exciting.
It wouldn't have done that if it wasn't the impact drill.
It's 11:06. Just.
I was hoping to be able to get one of these plunger things to work, but I guess.
So, do you have to make a spring for the plunger thing?
Huh? Yeah, but that's easy. That's the easy part. Because all we do is we take this here, we can make this spring right now. So, we take this right here, and we're just gonna draw a little rectangle on it. That's about something like that, maybe. Here, let me change camera angles for you guys. Okay, so all I did was just trace like a little rectangle on here, about an 1.5 inches long and about a 1/4 inch wide, and just gonna cut it out real quick out of the Sintra, the 3mm Sintra.
You know who we haven't seen tonight?
Huh.
Bruce.
Oh yeah.
If you're there, say hi.
Okay. Well, there we go. I might need to make it a little bit longer than this, actually. Dang it. It's okay. It didn't take too long. Where'd my gel pen go? Nice. Okay, cool. So I realized I need to probably make that a little bit longer than that and a little bit wider. Because if this button's going to be 5/16 inch wide, I need to probably have about that same width as the base that I'm putting it on. So I'm going just a little bit wider, a little bit longer. To about 3 inches now. So just double the length. And we'll see, maybe I might need to cut it down from there. But you can always cut stuff down, you can only add so much on. If any. And with Sintra, you can't add it back on.
Ashley says, I can't wait to see you at Comic-Con. Are you going to wear this cosplay?
Planning on it.
That's the plan.
If I finish it. I'm planning on finishing it, but who knows? Stuff happens. So, but yeah, for sure, that would be sweet. I'm so excited. I'm excited to see whoever's coming to, like, just hang out with you guys, say hi, and meet you in person. That would be so sweet. I have 4 different panels. You can get onto the app or the website and look at the schedule and just type in my name, and it should pull up all of the panels that I'm in. Doing forging with foam, forging with thermoplastics, cosplay 101, and cosplay on a budget.
It's gonna be fun.
Yeah. I'm super excited.
Ashley says I have all of them in my schedule.
Nice. Oh yeah, I think you said that on Facebook the other day when I posted that, huh?
Nice. I'll be there on Friday and Saturday. Friday is our like no kid day, and then Saturday is the kid day. So I'll bring the kids. So Friday is cosplay day for me. Because I tried to do Wonder Woman with 2 little kids.
Both of us in costume doesn't work
It just
with
was
kids.
so hard. So. It'll be fun. No. Yeah. No kid day means wear cosplay. Kid day means wear a tiara or something.
Okay, where'd that piece go that I just cut out? Is this it?
Or like a piece of my cosplay with them.
Okay, so there we go. Now what we're gonna do is throw on masks.
Oh, thank you.
Once again, you should probably wear an actual full-out respirator. I don't have one. I'm in the process of ordering one.
You always say that, but I don't think you are.
I am. I'm researching them. Find a good one.
Do our kids cosplay? Yeah, we did a really cute little hobbit for when our eldest son was like 1, like barely walk. Well, he was walking pretty well, so he was at least 18 months.
Mm-hmm.
And he was so cute. And then what have we done? Then he was Batman last time.
For Halloween last year, yeah, Batman and Robin.
Yeah, but what did he do? The baby was so little it was hard to dress him up last time. I know, we'll get better at it.
Spider-Man.
Oh yeah, he said Spider-Man.
It's like he has these Spider-Man jammy pajamas that we use. So I'm gonna need to go with the thinner Sintra, but should be able to give you the basic idea here of what we're doing with this, because we're out of time. But essentially, you know, heat this up, bend it over, probably more like that when you bend it, and then it kind of has a little bit of a spring to it, right? I kind of bent it too harsh right there, so it kind of pinched it and creased it. But with dealing with this, if I was doing it on the bigger pipe, I wouldn't have had to do that. But anyway, so you have it kind of curve around, right? That kind of adds a spring to it. Use the polyplastics, add a little button, so then you have that hole there drilled. And then with this inside, then that button piece sticks up out of here. You glue this part down to the bottom so it stays in there or something, right? So that stays in there, and then this is up with the button coming out of it. Push that button down, and then it should want to try to spring back up into place, right? So that's kind of the basic idea. We'll see if I can get that to work. But thank you. Okay, cool. But anyway, so that's just wanted to kind of try to show you real quick what I'm planning on doing with creating those little spring plunger hinges thing, or spring plungers. It's not going to work for being inside of such a, because that 1/2-inch PVC pipe, this is too big. It's not going to work. It won't have like enough room to even spring up. Yeah, so I'm going to do the thinner Sintra. I have the 2mm. I'll try that and see if that works. But yeah, so I think that's it for tonight. Thank you guys so much for tuning in. The literal Dark Knight.
You had the
Oh yeah. Batman night costume, Dark Knight.
Oh yeah, I thought it was 'cause you had the Bane mask on, but yeah, he was a knight.
Yeah.
Batman knight.
Yeah. But anyway, thank you guys so much for tuning in. It's always great to hang out with you guys. Thanks, much props, appreciate it. Thanks for tuning in. Your stuff's awesome.
We're slow moving tonight, that's for sure.
Yeah, sorry, kind of low on words and stuff. Just kind of trying to get through stuff, but appreciate you guys all tuning in. Thank you guys so much. Make sure to check out my other videos. I have other stuff on polyplastics, learn how to make your own Warbler, do all that kind of stuff. Check out Much Props. He's got stuff on polyplastics too if you're wanting to see some more on that. But yeah, thanks for watching. Like, subscribe, and cosplay on, my friends.
Goodbye.
See you at Comic-Con if you're going to be there. I'll try to live stream from the show. I can't do the panels. I can't live stream the panels. I asked them. But I can just kind of live stream from the floor and say, hey guys, I'm here. Check this out. It's so cool. You know, blah, blah, whatever. So sometime Thursday, Friday, Saturday, I'll try to hop on and live stream once or twice. So that I can show you guys what Salt Lake City Comic Con's like. All right. Thank you guys so much. Cosplay on, my friends.
Bye, guys. That's scary.
I can't get too close to my camera.